Hello, friends. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Living Crafty and Cozy. Well, it's September here in Florida, and fall is in the air. Only not really. It's in the upper 80s still and very hot, but that's not stopping us from putting out all our fall decor and getting all the fall feels. So, I want to share some of my favorite fall crafts with you in this episode. Let's get started. For today's first craft, we're going to be doing some copper leaves. I picked up a couple of these leaf frames at DollarTree and hung them on my walls and put them in front of a big picture that I have on my shelf and just wanted a way to make them pop, along with this adorable leaf bowl that I had gotten at our community thrift store. I just wanted to add some depth to the living room and see how could I make these leaves pop a little bit. And so I took them outdoors and coated them really well a few times over with just some copper spray paint. I got the undersides really well too. And I was really debating whether or not to get this leaf full because I kind of liked it looking old and a little bit beat up, but I eventually decided to go for the copper and I think it looks pretty great. This is everything all spray painted and put back in its place, and it looks super sharp. I really like the coziness and the depth that it brings into my living room. Okay, friends, for craft number 2, we're going to be doing some picture frame pumpkins. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is not the first time you guys have seen this craft before, especially if you go to like craft shows or watch a lot of craft videos, you would have seen this. But um, this is me just painting these random picture frames that I picked up. I use some chalk paint. I really like the way it adheres to a bunch of different surfaces. The first one was like a moss green color, and this was white, but then I added a few drops of brown acrylic to give it more of a cream color. The white was just way too stark white. I didn't cover it completely. I like a little bit of streaking look on my paint. So I painted them over a couple of times, but nothing too perfect. And then I had a really large frame that I'm using here, the blue frame that's all chippy looking and kind of distressed, which I absolutely love, and I'll never change that. For the stem of my pumpkin, I'm using this old rugged ruler that I cut earlier that morning, and I am just hot gluing that onto my larger frame. And that's the stem for my pumpkin. And then I'm using these great burlappy type leaves from Dollar Tree that have like the wire stems. This way they just stay in place really good. I have to do a little bit of adjusting, maybe a touch of hot glue here and there, but nothing too much. And then I'm just putting a bow around the stem, a little twine bow. I wrap it around a few times and put a cute little bow over the leaves. And for the smaller frames, I took a wine cork and split it in half. So that's my stem for these two smaller picture frames. Once the hot glue was dry, I was ready to start putting on my fall leaves. The leaves mostly held their place, but I did do just a dot of hot glue underneath just to keep them, from kind of going off to the side. And again, with another little twine bow on the top. Well, that's it for craft number 2. I absolutely love the way that these picture frame pumpkins turned out. I love them and they are still up on my mantle. I really think they're so beautiful. Moving on to craft number 3. This is an idea that I got because I really wanted to do more than just pumpkin crafts. It seems like everyone's doing pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. I was like, we got to do something different. So I grabbed these wood pieces from Dollar Tree. They all come in a pack. And then I saw these adorable felt acorn picks when I was in there. And I was like, oh, we've got to do something. So I was looking for the acorn topper. I wanted to use leather ribbon that they usually have in Dollar Tree, but I couldn't find them anywhere. So I just grabbed these leather pumpkins instead and cut them open, just deconstructed them and used the leather fabric for my toppers. The picks I pulled apart and used the little curly stems coming out, put a dab of hot glue on it and just pushed them right down into the foam acorns there. And I did end up bending them over at the end and making a full loop from the stem that I pushed into the acorn so that they could hang on the garland really well. And this is me hot gluing on the half of a leather pumpkin that I cut and rounded to make my acorn topper. And you'll see in the end, I finally work out where it's a little less awkward to hot glue the plaid ribbon on first and then put the topper on. It just makes more sense. Um, it's not so awkward to lift up and glue and everything. And then I turn them over and I cut the excess off from the back because you can see the shape of the acorn perfectly like that. So we're just cutting off all the excess fabric there, and they look so, so, so cute. And then just coming in with my twine rope here and putting all of this together. And there it is, hanging up over the mantle. I think that this was really cute. I love how all the browns and neutrals kind of accent each other, and just a really fun and different way to bring in some different fall items here, veering away from doing all pumpkins and bringing in some different elements of fall. Moving on to our next craft here, it's the wood slice art. I got this idea and I couldn't get it out of my head. So I ordered this wood slice off of Amazon. It was less than $10, pretty sure less than $10. And I just needed some woodland creatures to Mod Podge onto the wood slice. And so I found these really cute party favor bags on Amazon as well. And so here I am just cutting out and arranging how I want them to look beforehand. So I have an idea of what I want to do. Getting everything all cut out and ready to go. And don't forget the coffee. When you're crafting at nighttime, you better have something to help you stay perky and awake for it. And again, I'm coming in with the Waverly chalk paint in the color moss. I am a very basic beginner when it comes to painting. I'm not like a professional at all, as you can see. So anybody who has any experience with painting could do so much more with this. You could come in with some different tones or color palettes or whatever. I do like how it turned out in the end. It's simplistic and really cute. But you could still just do it like a ton more with the actual art part that I was doing here. I'm just coming in with a really fine tipped brush and just getting the outline of the trees. And then this is where I come in with a thicker brush and just start filling them in so things will move along a little bit quicker here. So once I get my trees all filled in, I grab my Mod Podge and I paint the back of the animal, the paper woodland creatures. I cover the back, and I had already agreed on how I wanted to arrange them. So I put everyone on there and then cover over the top, the entire top piece with another layer of Mod Podge just to seal all of it. I threw on some smaller DollarTree leaves that they come in a bag, and Mod Podged over those just to throw in that like fall leaf element, with the forest animals. And it is so cute. This would be so cute in a kid's room or in a nursery. I love how it turned out. For the next craft, we are going to do a simple coffee bar. I got this idea from another crafter to use like a baby doll cradle for a shelf. So I just knocked off the little pieces that made it rock back and forth so it would sit even on the table. I knocked that off with a hammer, and then I hot glued this really cute little printed fabric in the back, and then just arranged everything on the table together. And I think that this one turned out really beautiful as well. I love copper, so I put all of my copper pieces together on this, and I love it. This is the next craft is the leaf bowl. I'm sure you guys have probably seen this before. This is my first time doing it. Just always make sure to cover your bowl that you're going to use to shape the leaves with some kind of plastic. And I'm just arranging my leaves to see how I kind of want the pattern to go, and then start placing them and do a heavy coat of Mod Podge. I will say these burlap leaves probably weren't the best idea because the glue seeped through so much that you can see like a very clear layer of glue on the inside. So I have to keep the bowl filled with something at all times now, but I still like the way it turned out. I just definitely think I would do things a little differently next time. But I still think it turned out. It's cute and it's kind of funky all at the same time. It's nice though. I'll keep it for sure. It definitely has that fall cozy look to it. And I took it outside and let it dry in the sun for a couple of hours, a good 6 hours. And this is that end result. Like I said, it's colorful, it's pretty, it's not professional, but I still really like it. And this is our last craft we got here, the fall cake stand. I got this at a thrift store, and it's just like a kind of a flat basket that I inverted, flipped upside down, and now I am just I'm hot gluing a layer of leaves around the side. I'm making almost like a ribbon trim with fall leaves. And I'm just working on a pattern of colors there to not get too much of the same color in the same area. And I keep twisting as I go with the hot glue, being mindful to not burn my fingers. These leaves are so pretty. And at the end, I just wrapped some twine around a couple of times and did a bow. And I think that this is a really cute stand. If you had a cake, you could do a cake on there. It was really sturdy. I love the way this turned out. It's different. You could always put it on a pedestal too if you wanted elevated, but that's all for now. I can't wait to see you guys again. Thanks for watching.